All right, as Jim would say, another autonomous humanity on assignment.
Here in beautiful
Strongsville, Ohio, or
That's right.
Metro Cleveland. Definitely not Strongsville, Ohio, but with our great guest Nancy Pfeil. So. Nancy has been a big part of my life ever since I've been a wee little lad, and kind of like an aunt. I don't know.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like you think that.
But you have had quite the colorful life, I would say, and you're like, what am I even going to talk about? And
well, I'm excited to hear what you're going to ask me.
Well, we were just talking about music. I don't know how much you'd be interested to share more there, but you're just telling me that to get over some stage fright with some of the work that you're doing video production, presenting the video work in front of court, working with legal cases. Right. Talk about that, and if you don't mind sharing what you're doing to kind of get over that stage fright.
Okay, so when starting into the video portion of my job, I definitely was in front of people and a crowd that I wasn't accustomed to. So there is an announcement, like you're starting out here, there's an announcement, especially for some of the federal cases. So starting out with that, I had a horrible stage fright and went into just having a little bit of a panic attack. And so all the attorneys kind of picked up on this. And one very, very kind attorney, I don't know, can I say names?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. His name is Tom Merriman, and he noticed that I was having some, trouble. And after it was all done, and I had recorded the video, after it was all done, I said, I really apologize to all of you, because that was, I'm sorry. I'm not being recorded, but you can hear everything that I'm saying, and it just probably came across a little odd. But in any event, he was also a newscaster here in Cleveland, and he gave some great advice and said, if you can sing in front of a crowd, then you'll get over your stage fright. And that's exactly, I started doing that, and I've done with my boss has a band, and we do some Christmas concerts, and we actually sing. There's a thing here in Cleveland with the Tim Tebow Project, and we sing
Tim Tebow.
Yeah. So we do that, and it happens once a year, and it's a fantastic program where the kids come and they have their prom. What we do is we actually entertain the parents of the children who are at their prom.
And so, is that all like Christmas themed music, or you guys will do a gamut of like rock or pop or?
Yeah, kind of your early rock. So they, a lot of some 50s, 60s, 70s, things like that. So
see, that actually lines up with what I was wanting to start really doing. I mean, there's some more like modern covers I would like to do, but to Jim's point, finding people that are also interested in that music that, would, play along with it is one thing. But, there's plenty of music that definitely you would like, and then it sounds like you're familiar with Steppenwolf, right? Born to be Wild.
Yeah. But that's a little, that's what they do.
We've our generation, I don't want to speak for you, but
no, go ahead.
We've already experienced the wild thing, so you can be born to be wild.
Yeah.
We were wild, and now we're tame.
Yeah.
I'm at least that way, so.
Yeah, but that's cool. That's where you're going with it?
Well, that's one I would like to do, and especially we were talking about my grandfather on my dad's side that just got moved into the assisted care facility. Mm-hmm. My grandmother that he was married to, she had like my whole life my ringtone in her phone as Born to be Wild, and I was like, that would be a nice cool little callback memory, sort of like to rekindle.
I love things that tie you to people that have a mark on your heart. And that's a really cool thing.
That's what music's about, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing,
totally.
Singing lyrics, but if you don't feel them,
It brings you to a time. It brings you to a place. It's, these feelings you have. It's like some songs can take me back when my children are infants. Some take me back to much before then. But, and to be able to go out, you don't have to be great.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of times, but if you feel it and the crowd knows you feel it, you don't have to be spectacular.
Right.
You can just be honest and enjoy music together.
Yeah, that was something that, Steppenwolf, Born to Be Wild, that's one. There are some older, like more classical, like Rolling Stones, right? And that's I've heard they're still out there, and we were talking about Mick Jagger a little earlier, but yeah, they're still out there touring. And to your point, not every show they do sounds great. Like
Perfect,
yeah,
right.
it's just, but they're in it still, right? They're emotional. Mick Jagger's still doing his crazy dancing on stage, and it may not be hitting every note, but again,
just think of the life he led and how active he is, and he can do that, and we probably can't.
Yeah,
I couldn't run.
Well, yeah. So I've heard he brings like 2 semi truck trailers full of like gym exercise equipment just to stay active and make sure he's not breaking down on the road, because it's so easy, especially you're behind a wheel and given he's not the one driving around the tour bus or whatever. But you would think, oh wow, I could just fly private, as a musician that you made it, and you probably could. But when you think about everything that you're bringing and everyone that you're bringing on a tour, that quickly becomes not feasible. And that's, I think, a big like misconception with famous musicians. I don't know if you've heard of the Black Keys. Yeah. So I've listened to some of their interviews as of late. One of the guys was I think his name is Patrick Carney, the drummer. It might be Ben, but in any case,
I'm sorry, I don't know the name, but they're the band.
I can maybe even pull up the interview clip. He was asking what was the most expensive thing that he's purchased after he's quote unquote made it, and it was a divorce. And
I hear that.
I believe that.
But then they were also just talking about yeah, sure, they're making hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, like from a collection of their tours, making millions of dollars, or a tour might make hundreds of thousands of dollars. But then you pay a lot of that out just to cover the cost of the tours and the managers. And, if you have a record label, and, it's a lot of showing up, maybe still sleeping at, a less than ideal hotel or motel, or especially in the early days, even though like their band people are familiar with, sleeping in the back of the car, and like who's really wanting to do that? And they're talking about kind of to Jim's point about finding people like,
you know this?
It can be bad.
Yeah, and like finding people that not just can play music that you're interested in, but then also you can get along with, outside of the music, and like just can deal with the shit that you have to go through, right? Yeah. I was also going to mention the whole concept of starting, a band or whatever. One of the ideas that I've had, I got a comment one day. We're out in Texas walking into this restaurant where they're like known for like dissing you, for lack of a better way to put it. So it was like a restaurant, like it was called Dick's, and they were like, the whole thing was, or was it Big Dick's maybe? It might have even been. No, it wasn't. Dickie's Barbecue is down like by us. That's a chain, but it was. I can look it up, I guess, if need be. But it was like Dick's or something. If not Dick's, Big Dick's, and they would even like put like these big like paper hats on you, and they would like. I got one that was like. Oh man!
So that is the theme, to go in there
and like being like an asshole. Yeah, be berated.
People act that way.
And I think it was like even
sounds
like before.
Fun.
Yeah, I think it was, and it could have even been someone like that. Wasn't from the restaurant, but as we were walking in, I was like, hey, it's Metrosexual Jesus and His Disciples. And I was thinking, that would be a good band name, Metrosexual Jesus, and then maybe even making it musical, Metrosexual Jesus and His Decibels, but maybe that's too cheesy. But yeah, that's my, if I were to start a musical background.
Yeah, I'll be like, I wear those backstage passes, buddy.
See, but to me, I want to be interested, because first and foremost, my priority is realizing the mass market potential of drones. And that's kind of at odds with going out and doing a touring sort of, musical career. So for me, it would literally just be getting a group of people together, doing a video, and then doing like a cover video, putting it online.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So
I love it.
maybe next time we come up here, we
jamming?
drag Nancy in. Or when you come down to Atlanta, right?
Yeah,
you're gonna make that happen.
Keep promising. Yeah, I keep promising. Maybe this year. But I did tell your mom I was coming this year.
Especially now that we have my grandfather out, we can reclaim the music space that there used to be.
I hear there's some good card games going on that I need to be part of.
Card games?
Well, it's blackjack right now. That's the big thing. It used to be craps.
Mm-hmm. Your mom was the dealer. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's terrible, meaning she will take your money. So if Jill is dealing, you better hold on.
Know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to hide.
Exactly.
You better count your blessings.
She's tough.
Really? Uh-oh.
No.
Hopefully she's kind to me.
Yeah, that spins up another memory from my grandfather that you spent a lot of time with.
A lot of time with, Jim.
Yeah, Jimmy,
Just
PJ, as I knew him as.
My kids called him Bobo.
Bobo.
Yeah.
So if I can ask, how far from here where we are now was that? That's not
like
too
8
far.
minutes. Yeah.
8 minute
yeah,
drive.
Very
And that's
close.
where you grew up essentially?
No, I grew up in Westlake, but I moved here and spent my majority of my time here because the kids went to school here, so we stayed here. But yeah, it was probably just 7 minutes down the road.
Wow, I didn't know so many notable people were from Westlake. I thought it was the Pauls, Logan and Jake Paul. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're from Westlake.
Okay.
They're like big social media personalities.
Oh, okay.
And but nothing on Nancy Pfeil.
No, I don't know. Did you know I was pretty quiet in Westlake? Probably didn't even make a mark. So, but yeah, that's where I'm from.
No, but going back to my grandfather,
Yes.
Jim, so talking about the card games, I'm sure remember all the card games that you would host, Dealer's Choice Poker.
Yeah.
Anything stand out to you from those days?
It was such a great time. It was just, and I think that we're missing that time now because everybody is kind of doing their own thing. People are online. People are watching TV. This was a time where a bunch of people in the neighborhood would get together and spend hours together playing cards and
smoking, drinking, all inside, eating.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, but we would all be there and he would have these things and it brought probably 10, 15 people together every month.
Oftentimes more,
Yeah, it was great.
Was that on a certain night of the week?
He would just announce it, that this is what's going on, and we'd all show up, and, it was nice. I could just walk through the backyard and be there, and people were just down the street, and it was getting together. It was neighborhoods getting together and hanging out. And it was fun.
That is like my ideal of playing poker, not doing Texas Hold'em or blackjack or craps or whatever, doing dealer's choice. Everyone gets to pick their own game, and I don't remember a lot of the games off the top of my head.
Young. Yeah.
But there's like obviously follow the queen, 5-card money or like 5-card draw, 3-card money.
Deuces Jacks, the man with the axe.
Night baseball.
Day baseball.
Indian poker. That was always a fun one.
But it was bringing people together.
It
was great.
And now everybody's on their, like what you're saying,
Right.
everyone's on their device.
And just so divided,
they're
right? It's like people used to be able to like have conversations, political conversations, and like not that it would, at least that I remember, ever get too political, but it's not like it was today where, if you don't have the same opinion, it's like oftentimes like, well, I can't even speak to that person.
Yeah, I don't even remember like really getting offended by anything anybody said. I think it was just people just talked and it was just normal conversation, and nobody that I can recall walked away and was like, I'm not coming back because of a topic or anything. It was good.
And
good time.
And even
we all
like,
cared about each other.
Yeah. And just like the game, like that was fun too. It was everyone would bring like tubs of quarters, like those like can't believe it's not butter, sort of dishes just filled up with quarters, and you could like sit out any hand, you can sit in any hand, you could walk away like, hey, I'm done for the night, and you just walk away with the quarters that you have. It's not like all right, you're playing it out through the end, and you may walk away with nothing, or you may walk away with
more than you came with, or a lot more than you came with.
Wasn't a whole lot, but and those who had children, they could sit on somebody's lap, and they could be, if you were in a serious thing, people would be getting mad, but it was family, and they would come over. Granted, we're all drinking and smoking.
And that's I would make
Sorry, kids.
I would make a lot of money walking around with a little solo cup named Fill Up, as a tip jar. Fill up. Yeah, Fill Up.
You guys were kind of like the
bartenders. Yeah.
You
Learning how to
were.
make cocktails,
I don't know
mix
if
drinks.
this is coming across as well as I thought it was in the beginning. Child labor. Yeah.
Serving drinks.
Yeah.
Well, I was talking to Jim about that. That was some of the great experiences looking back, not just, working, like those games, right? But coming up here and working the corn farm as much as
right.
Not every day. I was like, man, I gotta go do another delivery. I can't play like Pokemon on my Game Boy or whatever. But,
right.
Looking back, and I was telling Jim, not that I'm like the end all be all metric or definition of success, but you look at, a lot of successful, like the most successful business people in history, they're working from the time they're like 5 years old, right?
Yeah.
And it's just not that, hey, you're working a job, but it's that's important. Is you're kind of figuring out like, everyone has to work, and then figuring out what work kind of really gets you going, because and David Blaine, I don't know if you've heard of him, like the magician.
Yeah.
And I'm going to butcher it here, but his mom told him, like, don't do anything that you wouldn't do for $1. And that to me is like, it's like, huh? Like, why? Like, basically don't be a sellout, right?
Okay.
Yeah. It's like, if you want to do that for free,
going.
right? Or,
okay.
like, if it would take someone like, you would only do that for $1 million. Don't do it, right? But if you would do it for free, or $1, right?
Well, and I think that builds your character working, whatever job it is.
Right.
And I've had a slew of different jobs, and whatever it was, no matter, some of it was housekeeping, I did concrete, I did all kinds of things, but I did it to my best.
Right.
Like, you did it because you took pride in your work. It wasn't like, oh, I hate this and I'm not going to do it. It's like you worked hard, no matter what it was.
There was definitely days I didn't want to do it, with
right?
the corn farm. But it's better to get learn that young, right? Yeah.
We know your mom.
Yeah. I was telling Jim, like getting paid under the table, hypothetically speaking, I don't know what the statute, no, obviously, but yeah. And again, teaches you the value.
Oh, you're old enough, they won't come after you now.
And again, I guess like the big aspect of it is like learning the value of making $1, right?
And we all watched over.
Yeah.
Like, everybody knew where other people's kids were, and if you knew somebody was selling something, you went over there and bought it, because
like snow cones, right?
Yeah, like snow cones. Like but you know what? I don't know what. You really did a great business with the snow cones in the front yard. That was pretty crazy great. Nobody else
great
had
real
that.
Estate.
Yeah, nobody else had that.
Yeah, it was all lemonade, right?
Yeah, lemonade or candy bars.
Yeah, lemonade. Who wants that when you can
And
have
then
a nice,
it's like,
refreshing
what?
snow cone? Yeah.
What has come to Strongsville? A snow cone? Yeah.
We actually had friends up here as well that own a big concessionaire business, and so they do like. Did you ever meet the Kurtzes?
No.
Carolyn and Jack Kurtz.
I did not.
Did you ever go to like the North Ridgeville like corn? Wow,
I did not.
too highbrow, Nancy.
Well,
like none of this like simpleton farm life.
I hate to say that. No, I don't think I ever went to the corn festival. But you guys brought the corn here.
Yeah.
So
we brought the corn festival to you.
Yes.
At least yeah.
So it's like, why would we go out there when you guys brought the good stuff and had it all?
The people that matter.
We just walked down the street. Remember, the stand was like at the end of
the landmark. Yeah, we
yes.
Yeah, we actually stopped there today because hypothetically speaking, Jim wanted some nicotine gum, and I was like, oh, they would definitely.
How's that working for you?
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
Hey,
I'm
better than
addicted. Now
cigarettes.
I'm addicted to the gum. Right.
Okay.
No,
All right.
I'm a nicotine gum chewer off and on for a long time. So
Okay.
I'll hop on and chew it for months and months and then stop. But it's better than smoking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Smoking right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I have to say, because being a former smoker, when I smoked, I liked smoking.
Yeah. Oh,
so
yeah.
I get it. But
Yep.
yeah.
Once you develop a
You
taste
feel
for
good
it,
afterwards. Yeah.
It's
when
got you.
stop. Yeah. It takes a bit. But it's like, you smell it and it's like, oh, I remember that.
yeah.
That's good. So I don't come down on anybody. Everybody can do what they want. That's fine by me. So.
But it's so much fun talking shit, right? You know, I could feel so much better about myself. Ooh, a filthy smoker like Brian and Jim.
And you're like, I never touched it.
Yeah. No.
And again, the reason why we use nicotine and smoke is because we're around you.
Yeah,
we pull our hair out.
Yeah, it's like my parents smoke.
Everybody you know smokes.
What is it?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The common denominator.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I smoked 5 cigarettes in my life. I can count them on one hand, and then I.
Why? What? I mean, were you at a football game or?
Why did I smoke?
Yeah, where were you at?
Yeah,
bring back the memory.
Yeah, bring back the memory. I was 15 years old. I was sophomore, and this was 3 of them.
Did you steal them from your mom and dad?
No. Hypothetically speaking, got them from Brian. I was with another friend that lived in the neighborhood. We were working on a Spanish project for our, high school, Spanish high school class.
Okay.
And we had finished up the assignment, and then we were like walking around the neighborhood late at night. I had this one green laser, the ones that people point up at the planes that you're not supposed to. And I thought it'd be great. Like, let's just go walk around the neighborhood and like past Brian's house. And I think I might have seen like the light in his room or whatever. And so I like shined the green laser in his room. And then he's like 20 at the time. So he's also underage. And so it's not just cigarettes that we get into. His parents had a bar, like built into their basement, a pretty nice one at that. And they were always allowed to like go touch it, and especially being from Wisconsin, very like alcohol friendly family, right? Mm-hmm. And my parents were, as you know, like open, even like going up to PJ's or my grandfather's house. Yeah. Hey, you want a screwdriver? Well, make it yourself, and then But they would much rather it like under their purview, right?
Sure.
It's like we know you're gonna do it at some point anyway. Might as well do it like in around less stupid people, right? In like the high school party sort of sense, but
or at least prepare you for those so that you don't get in trouble.
Too much trouble. Yeah. But get over to Brian's house, go down into their basement, start drinking. It was like some like flavored Walmart water with like vodka or something that we ended up having, and
I love, but the story of this is you guys are in business together.
Yeah. Well, and going back even further, so
it's great.
Brian's sister and I have gone to school same grade since pre-K together. And then,
cool.
So Brian and I are essentially like as close to brothers as you can get without being biologically related. I was at pre-K when he was first grade, second grade, so. And then,
so that's why he smokes, because he knows you too.
Yeah. Well, he did, and he did walk this back like early on. Let's say like 10 years ago now. We were talking about like why he smokes, and he was like, "Oh, I grew up around it." I was like, "Dude, it was like because his parents didn't smoke growing up, but mine did, and like other family."
Right.
I was
right.
Like,
mine didn't.
That's bullshit. Because my parents were the ones that grew up smoking. That
you should be smoking, not him.
Right.
No. Yeah. Mine didn't.
My dad smoked on and off all his life.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So he just doesn't.
On and off, and mostly off for a lot growing up. Maybe socially,
when we were younger.
Yeah.
Huh.
And then kind of in adulthood, he kind of like picked it up, especially with Brian. Hey, just give me a pack, or let me bum some, and then bumming some. Oh, I'm buying my own packs, but that turned into 3 cigarettes after some drinks, and then my friend at the time, his parents were not as sort of open, and and so we ended up crashing there, not intending to, but and then wake up at like 7 a.m. or whatever, like walk/run back over to my parents' house, get in through the basement door, and then my dad my dad comes
finding out more about you than I didn't know these things.
What, Jacob's not just a goody two shoes?
I'm like, wow. No, I knew you were in a goody two shoes.
Yeah.
So cool.
Mostly, I mean,
gotta live it.
Yeah.
Gotta live. Everybody has their experience, so that's cool.
Yeah, I've mentioned this on the podcast before, but everything in moderation, including moderation. I like to think I'm a by and large very well disciplined person, but like not at the expense of living life, right? But not having too much fun as well.
Right. I mean,
I'm not
there
having
are
fun in
days
the work
for
that I
it.
do, right? But yeah,
there are days for it.
yeah. parts of days for it. No,
As long as you can recover, okay. It's
Yeah.
cool. It's good. It's good. Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah,
so-
that was, that's how, yeah. Going back to your grandpa. Yeah. It's big part of my life. Very, very big part of my life. And
How
your
many
mom.
years are we talking here? The total number of years?
Of years that I know
that you knew
Jim.
him and-
Oh gosh, I met him when I was 22, and then he passed. How many years has it been now? It's not. it's
2019, I want to. Or no, it would have been maybe even 2020.
20. Yeah. So
During
all
COVID.
that time. So
5
2000
Yeah.
no, it's like 1987.
Hmm.
Yeah. So.
Incalculable. That's
Yeah, it's like it's too big. Yeah. So no, he was definitely around and definitely saw my kids grow up, and
He
yeah,
lived a colorful life too. Like
He did, and he'd like to tell the stories.
Yeah.
I wish he had him on this night now.
Yes, but he and I very much butt heads towards later in life because he also was. He hated anyone that did better than him.
Oh, really?
I got a lot of.
No,
sense
I love that. I
yeah.
love that perspective because
Yeah.
it's something new for me to. It's another facet of him.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I remember watching like this, like the Men Who Built America, whatever on the History Channel, because he like was a late adopter of like only had a computer because like maybe my mom growing up or something like needed it for, and like had dial up like the whole time, maybe until like the last couple of years of his life, just
It was in
so
that
we
back
like
room.
yeah.
You had to go like all the way down the hall to get to it.
And didn't have a cell phone, and he was like always on the landline, like got his
Yes.
weather through the landline and
Did
everything.
not like a cell phone.
Yeah.
That's that generation.
Yes.
I think a lot of that generation they're not buying into
you can't
the
speak
layest
while
and
he's
greatest.
driving, yeah. But he was
Was he World War II by chance or
no, he was
Korea?
he was a biker gang or biker club sort of guy because they were too gentlemanly,
Yeah, yeah.
He told me a story about being at a diner after like just. I want to say it was like an abandoned house, but that could be me like putting on rose tinted glasses, like burning down a house, and then going to the diner and just kind of like watching and laughing at the fire trucks.
That does bring back a memory of one of his stories that
Yeah.
he did that. Yeah, yeah. But you know what? He made a mark on us.
Yeah.
Good and bad. So that's.
I want to be here without him.
Yeah,
so,
right. Yeah. So I
was
mean, I
something.
think I think that's one of the things with going along the line of getting together and hanging out in a neighborhood. I think we've gotten a way of knowing people's stories.
Yep.
And I think we watch so much on TV and that story, but we forget to the people that we love and the people that we're going to lose eventually to spend more time getting their stories. And I love the fact that we're talking about Jim and we're remembering, and that's really cool. So I'm hoping down the line for me, somebody's going to talk about me that way. That's cool.
Well,
Oh,
we're here.
right here,
Yeah.
right now.
today.
Yeah.
I guess not doing
All right.
a good enough job.
So
No.
more about your story
Yeah.
now. So
Well, no,
you've
I
given
think
us.
I love this. I love the fact that it's like, and that's the point that I was trying to make. It's just, we've done so much. Everybody's on a tablet or a phone or whatever. It's like, it's the time and now, but nobody wants to hear a history of
Right.
people. I think that's kind of.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's not relevant anymore. That's so like last week, 2 years
it's not
ago.
like that.
Yeah. And I think there's also like you hear one bad thing about a person, and it's like I gotta disown that person. Like they're a bad person now. Whereas like previously, it's just people have more complexity to them or more nuance to them, and I think it's just so easy to, like with the cancel culture that had sort of developed over the last decade. It's like, oh yeah, I just can't associate with that person anymore because
I see. Yeah.
Have a political views
Yeah.
or social view on something, and so you just separate from them versus talking it out and doing what we're doing. So,
I think that's hard for nowadays to talk things out. I agree.
And that was one of the issues that I had like in the later years where, he was like totally against like Andrew Carnegie and like John Rockefeller. And it's like they did more for like building the and again, given like the education system isn't what it once was. But they were a big part of like building the public library system, the public education
Right.
system, just allowing us to, build businesses that they built out all the infrastructure for. And I'm not trying to say they were like saints of humans either, right? But no one is.
No
and,
one.
and it's like, I'm sorry, I would rather be, not a saint of a human providing a global or national impact that they did than, also not be a saint of a human and then, oh, fuck anyone that does better than me, and that seems like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I see what you're saying. I guess, yeah, maybe, and probably in the situations with when I was with him, it was like, yeah, we didn't delve into that kind of stuff. Probably, I don't know, we're just talking stupid about stupid things. But yeah,
plenty of that. Yeah.
yeah,
But,
yeah, we would probably, I don't know if we would be just laughing about all kinds of stuff. He was very funny at a lot of things. I think maybe I took his views as he was being funny. Maybe that's it. I'm like, oh my God.
Well, and he was. I mean, like for the longest time, he was on oxygen. Like had like an oxygen tank in like the middle of his house, and like the tube that like he would be connected to. And he would always say, "You just take me out to the back of the wheelbarrow, and just
Yeah.
dump me out there.
Leave me back there.
Yeah.
and just." And so, yeah, I mean, he was very kind of like brass,
Yes.
crass,
Yes.
crass
He didn't
sort of person.
hold
but
there's
yeah.
no filter.
There was
Another way of
humor
saying
No
it, what you
filter.
saw is what you got.
got.
Right?
Yeah.
What you
Yeah.
see is what you get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Which,
that's good.
and you're right. There were people that took offense to
Yeah.
some things. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was definitely, and that happened even I saw with my dad, again, just like this whole cancel culture, political correctness, anyone that wasn't kind of like towing that line, walking on eggshells, kind of got, I feel, excommunicated to, not everyone, right? But like the Jim McNabb, I know.
Right.
Like, and
Yeah, that
even
was-
his brother,
Yeah.
well, not Marty, Mel.
Mel.
Yeah. Yeah, I know my so well.
No, you were
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
You were there. Just
thinking of their son.
misspoke one. Yeah. No, you
And
were there.
actually, I don't know how close you ever were to them at all, but apparently Marty is completely MIA. Like,
That's what I heard from your mom. Yeah.
yeah, that's
So Marty, if you're watching this,
come out of the woodwork.
We want
There's
to find
people
you.
that still care about
Love
you and
you.
love you. Yeah. Unfortunately, one of my great uncles, Jim's, my PJ, Papa Jim's brother, his son went out to like San Francisco. Let's say lived a traditional stereotypical San Francisco fantastic, sort of lifestyle, and I think got also into like the drugs that hit the streets out there, and I guess it's ended to a point that just totally off the grid.
He's off the grid.
Yeah, and
yeah.
That can happen.
and it's
Stress.
crazy to think that can happen, especially like within your own family. But
Yeah. I remember. Knowing him, he's a kind person. Marty.
I remember always getting like Toys R
Quiet.
Us gift cards and whatever in the mail. Yeah,
Kind.
yeah, in the mail. But
People.
I guess so. Before you were doing the work that you're doing now, like with the legal firm,
With the
doing the
court
video,
reporting.
work, and I guess talk about how you got into that as well, because again, this was like not a 180,
Major shift.
major shift for you getting into video work. I remember talking with you about this a few years ago. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, welcome to our world, Nancy. Yeah.
Right. I mean, you guys are pretty sophisticated here. Watching Brian, you guys put this all together is pretty amazing.
Looks
you
can be
know?
deceiving, right?
Yeah, no, it's like
We're
talk about
simpletons.
bringing stuff that. No, this is a pretty big deal. You guys got here. I'm impressed with you. So how did I get into it? Well, I did a number of different jobs leading up to it, and I just managed to work with this gentleman. I knew him through mutual friends. Started working there. I worked in the office for a long, long time. And when COVID came, then he's like, well, I need another videographer. Do you want to train for this? And so I'm like, yeah, okay, we'll try it out. And it took off and it worked. And I have to tell you, he is actually amazing. He does 2 camera work. What he brings to the courtroom is, it's off the charts at times. It's like people think that when you get into the courtroom, it's going to be like you see it on TV.
Law and order.
It's like,
Yeah.
you've got this witness and this is what's going to happen, and they're up there. And that's changed a lot with modern technology. I mean, we're talking a lot of the Q&A, a lot of the trial testimony is taken outside of the courtroom, and it's actually on, in offices and or at hospitals, and you're going in there with your equipment and you're doing picture in picture. You're actually the new setups that they have, you can actually, you're watching the witness speak and you're having the exhibit up there. So say if it's a doctor and they can be given an iPad or tablet and they're actually doing like a Madden thing and they're showing, because when you're in the courtroom and you're hearing things like deep thrombosis, I don't even know all the medical terms that they're saying, but an aneurysm or something went wrong with a baby or whatever that, whatever the case may be, or something, a spinal injury, something that goes on. Well, we're lay people, we're the jury, and we're listening to this, and it's like, okay, and they're talking in it's medical terminology, and you're trying to get to understand it. Now, if you have this technology with video and with your drones and everything, what you're doing with that, well, bringing it into the courtroom, you can actually have a doctor sitting there, and as the witness is, or excuse me, as the jury is listening to that witness talk, he's actually on a tablet with a picture-in-picture going to the places and showing what happened.
Annotating the video.
Yeah. So now you're not only hearing the words, that he's talking about, which could be very much lost. You're seeing, and it used to be you bring in like the skeleton from, science class, Mr. Bones or whatever. Now you've got these wonderful programs and things that you can go and show exactly. Well, this is where the cut came in, or this is where the clout was, or this is, and you're showing so that they can actually have an idea of what transpired whenever this happened. And so it's very cool what they can do now in the courtroom. And I have to hand it to some of the attorneys that I work with. They actually have to go off and get practically medical degrees on what they learn and what they understand at these things. It blows my mind.
Would you say that, like, at what percentage of the cases that you're working are you seeing technology?
That technology,
is it 50% or
no? It's less than that. I would say for the firms that we work with, actually probably 50%. You're right. So when I'm thinking about that, because they do a lot of medical malpractice, it's things that happen. It's unfortunate. Nobody wants anything to happen, but it does leave, there's somebody that needs help out there. And so when they need help, they need a law firm, attorneys that actually research and use every piece of technology that they can in order to help facilitate what their needs are for the future. So we have, I have a great law firm that's outstanding, and they go above and beyond every time. And I listen to them ask the questions, and it's like I said, it seems like they go to medical school.
Now, with your line of work, have you heard of the show Jury Duty?
I have.
Have you watched it?
Yeah.
What did you think of that? Yeah.
I think it was hysterical, but I don't do a whole lot with juries, so for me,
Loosely related,
my portion of it is outside of the courtroom. Every once in a while for IT, getting something to play, a video to play, or showing an exhibit in the courtroom, I'll be in there for that, but I don't have a big part of that. So.
Never thought you would be IT support for
you know what?
Playing videos in a
I
courtroom.
think probably I don't think anybody who knows me would have
awesome.
Me to have a judge say, "Madam IT person, can you come to the bench?" It's like, oh my gosh, knowing me, I don't think anybody would have expected that. But I'm glad to be here doing it, so it's cool.
And so before this, what did you transition from that year before the law office?
Before that, okay. Let's see, there's lots of things. So having the kids, that's that was really important, having kids and being able, like your mother, we had the same values that way. We wanted to work within the hours that we could be home. So I did concrete.
What can't you do, Nancy?
Right?
Yeah.
So, thank you, Mike. Learning to do, rake and dump concrete. And
did you do that yourself? You were out there.
Bow float.
Whoa, right? That's some heavy duty. That's tough work.
Yeah, I remember one time we were finishing up somebody's driveway, and this woman came out with the camera. She goes, "I just want to take a picture to show my husband who did the driveway today."
That's awesome.
Yeah, so.
That's hard work.
It was really, and I appreciate them giving me the opportunity. It was really hard work. I remember after the first couple of times of doing it, I couldn't even drive my car. I hurt so bad. It was tough work. But taking sledgehammer, jackhammer. Yeah, got to do it all.
And see, that's where I hear like these people in like Hollywood and talking about like acting on set, and like a lot of it's like 12, 13-hour days, but most of it's like sitting around. You might deliver a few lines here and there, and it's like like those are still hard work hours, but it's a different type of hard work than actually going out there building our roadways, like, hanging electrical lines, doing concrete,
concrete.
That's real hard work.
It was really hard work. Yeah. And then Marissa also did it with me too. So we had two girls that were actually doing it. It was pretty cool.
The dynamic duo.
Yeah, we were. Probably got in a little trouble at times too, but it was great fun. It was good. But
so
that allowed me.
Were you catcalling the construction guys then, or?
No. I wasn't smart enough. Now going back, I wish I had, but no. It was great. I mean, you wanted to get in there and you wanted to get out because the sun is your worst enemy. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
So how long did you do that?
4 years.
4 years. Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty much every day.
No, I mean, it was part-time, like literally, whenever he'd have a full crew, and if he was short somebody, then we would come in and do it. But yeah. Wow. It was nice though, because I would get home before the kids were home from school. So that was a little bit of an adventure. I did side things. I worked for your grandpa when he was selling his house. I painted the kitchen and did stuff in there. So I did that kind of stuff, wallpapering, different things like that. Housekeeping. I did housekeeping for a bit. I worked for a cosmetic line as a part-time sales rep for a while. And trying to think what else. I refinished furniture and different things. So, and then I got into, like I said, and I've been here at the core reporting firm. I always lie and say it's more. So I got to come back, and I think it's like 16, 17 years.
Really? Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Because I always tell my boss it's longer, but then when I figure it out, I'm like, it wasn't there that long.
But the video, that's COVID, right? You were saying?
Started that. And that, I mean, like I said, for me to be able to be part of that and to watch what these attorneys do, and it blows my mind. It's amazing. I'm just a little fly on the wall, just kind of watching things happen, and it's pretty cool.
Now, again, I'm not involved in it like you are, at the local level, but kind of similarly, and I don't know how much you want to get into politics and we could steer away from them, but Robert Kennedy Jr. has impressed me in that same regard. Again, no sort of medical training, but he went to law school and probably just as well-versed, if not more well-versed than most doctors, right? But going and reading the literature and, defending individuals or coalitions, I've heard like class action sort of lawsuits, representing people against larger pharmaceutical or agriculture companies. And it's amazing the pushback that he's getting. It's like, I thought we were all on board that like big pharma was bad, and now all of a sudden, like post-COVID, it's like there's been this switch. No, they're all here looking for our best interest, and want nothing but the best for us, right? Mm-hmm. And he's been speaking out about that in a way that one, not many people are able to, and then even more so,
definitely have the ability.
And then
other than his voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the doctors are lying, and
Kind of tough to stay with it. Yeah.
yeah.
I know. Well,
I wish he was our president. I was not campaigning for him, but I supported him. Went to his campaign event when he came down to Atlanta, shook his hand, and was able to give him a letter that I wrote. Not anything on like the medical side, just some legislation I'm pushing for on the drone front.
Okay.
But because not just from a medical perspective, he's just very much for my body, my choice, in a way that is like more self-reliance and like the whole like what his uncle would talk about. What can you do for your country? What can you do for your government? You know, where again it's kind of been flipped the other way around. I think in most people's heads, what's the government going to do for me? How's the government going to take care of me? And it's like going back to the medical statement. He was like, one of the most patriotic acts that you can do is taking care of yourself, right? Not being a burden to our healthcare system, right? And that's it's a hurtful, truth, and a lot of, well, I should just be able to do whatever I want, that's freedom, but it's not freedom if other people, other Americans are footing the bill and
for your lifestyle
for
and
your
your
lifestyle.
and your decisions
Right.
you're making. Yeah.
Right.
yeah. I mean, I would have to admit that for myself, it's like I probably, I catch things on the news and stuff like that, but I would probably say I'm withdrawn from all that. I think I just want to, and it's probably wrong, but it's like I try to just keep in my lane and try to do the best to be the best of who I can be for other people.
Yep.
So I think even if somebody, like you're talking about this, it's like, yeah, I know what you're talking about and I saw it on the news. However, it's not
fake news.
infiltrated. Yeah, it hasn't infiltrated where I'm at.
Yeah.
So, and I feel kind of that's kind of a cop-out in a way, and I don't want it to be a cop-out, but I just know myself that it's like...
But everyone can't be involved everywhere, right?
Right. So I think for myself, it's like I think I truly try to manage myself, what my day is going to be, what I can say or do for somebody that's, beneficial.
Right.
Like what is my contribution for today? And I think that's kind of
But most people I don't think like that. They're like, what's someone else going to do for me?
Right.
Whether it's, the company that, I shouldn't have to go in and actually work, I should just be able to stay at home and work, from home. And,
Yeah.
Or the government, like, I should just be getting this handout, right?
Right. Yeah, I'm not so sure. Yeah, I'm not all for having everybody getting that help and not being creative or getting out there, but it's not, we're all granted all these different opportunities, and I don't know why somebody ended up having to get help, or how do you fix it? There's people that are desperately in need to be helped, and
I think
that's got to be there.
Yeah.
There's always going to be somebody who's going to figure out a way to get it, and they don't need it.
Right.
Sure.
That's a very... I don't know who's going to be able to fix it, because I think that's in all aspects of all our lives. Even in this our small little bubble that we're in, there will be people that'll take advantage of kindness.
Yeah, and I don't think we're ever going to live in like a utopia where everyone takes care of themselves.
No,
and
you
those
have to
around them.
have
Right.
you have to have
Right.
both. You got to have both in there. It makes life exciting.
But I think what we've really been missing, for the last many decades of this country is literally just leadership that is inspiring the American public. Like, hey, these are the sort of ideals that we can and should maybe be pushing for, right? Whether it's wanting to take care of ourselves from a health perspective, going for, big public work projects like putting a man on the moon, or the Hoover Dam or the interstate system, and I don't see anyone like pushing for a vision for America, right? That can get the American people all unified behind that, as opposed to I mean, not that I think many are trying to purposely divide, but
Right.
I don't. And I've mentioned this kind of as like a broken record now a lot over the last week, that we've either had, I think since Nixon, either actors as presidents or incompetent, negligent presidents. Like, we haven't had a good leader.
It's been quite a run. That's for
Well, I think
sure.
you're saying a visionary, somebody with
Well,
a
not
vision.
even like, but
So Trump's
care for-
vision, Trump's vision right now.
Make America great again.
And you would probably agree. I mean, regardless where you stand with the tariff situation and whatnot, the whole angle on that is, from my perspective and understanding, is to energize American manufacturing, to bring it back.
Yep.
So Trump does, like him or love him or hate him or whatever, he has a vision for this country, as how I see it.
Yeah, I think he, again, very divisive figure. I think he is the person that cares most about America, the future of America and Americans, American youth, than we've had in any president probably since Nixon. And I think, kind of similar to Nixon, he was smeared, to the likes of pretty much anyone else, right? I think personally, I was not a Trump guy 2016 or 2020, did not vote for him either time he was running then. And I was like revered Obama growing up. I thought he was like the ideal of a president, right? Being very articulate, being able to, and now I've come to say,
He
like,
looked presidential.
and was
a very
good,
actor,
spokesperson.
A good,
yeah. And he, to me, was able to make bad ideas sound great. And like, that's a skill set, a very real skill set, but not what we needed for this country. And again, he was also like campaigning, especially in '08, as being the change agent, right, for this country. And I would like to think some of that was legitimate, right, that he did have a lot of these feelings, especially being, pro whistleblower, and then does a complete 180, like, hey, we're going to release Edward Snowden, we're going to pardon Julian Assange. And then it wasn't until it might have been even under Biden's administration that the whole Julian Assange, situation worked out. But I mean,
I gotta switch what I'm watching because you guys are blowing me away. I'm like, oh well, on Netflix.
more the Autonomous Humanity podcast.
Yeah, no, it is. It's hard. It's hard times. It's hard times when you feel it when you have your children and they're little and you're worried all the time. What's going to happen? What's the future? Where we're going with all this. And you're right. The leaders and everybody that that changes or directs things. And then now, I have my children. Their parent or their. He's a parent, and it's like the fears have intensified for what they have going on. And yeah, it's scary to figure out who is going to, change this so that we can send our kids to school safely. And we walked to school without a problem. If we didn't come home on time, we weren't worried. But nowadays it's like you actually have to take your kids to school and bring them back because of where we're at. And I don't know, what do we do to fix it? Who is going to fix it? We've got to have somebody.
I think one, it's like having good leadership in this country, but again, setting the example, right? Because it's not like a person can just wave a magic wand, presto,
Right, that's
America,
exactly.
and every person.
Wish we could, but no.
But it does, like, in the sense, like, be the change that you want to see, right?
Right.
And then, have one person, really be the ideals of, obviously still a person, but, represent what it means to be an American, where, again, everyone's going to have a slightly different or maybe totally different ideal of the American dream, right? But I think there is something to be said about, like, the stereotypical, like, white picket fence, having a nice suburban house, yard, being able to raise a family. And, like, that's just not on the mind of a lot of people, because it's like everything's been made out to be so divisive, right? And
right. And I think, like we touched on earlier, people getting together and hanging out together, and it's just like families had Sunday dinners together, and it was just a whole different thing. Now everybody's got a place to be, the time to be there. Conversations are texts rather than having a conversation, or you're afraid to offend somebody, so you go through things very gently, where it's like there should be conversation. And I think conversation is definitely dwindled.
When your children were small,
Mm-hmm.
did you allow them to trick or treat in the neighborhood and go out with friends?
Yes.
Because today, I don't
Yeah.
think many parents today, it seems like they can't do that. You can't trust it. The
Right.
society. something that I don't hear anybody talking about. I hear a lot of people talking about what are we going to do to quote unquote fix the situation that we have in this country. And I want to know, like, growing up for me, there were never mass school shootings. You know, we didn't have school shooter drills and things like that to prepare for it.
Did you guys grow up around a school or in a school with like a gun club, rifle club, shooting club, target practice club?
We had a smoking section in my high school. Can you believe that? A smoking section.
Yeah, there was a smoking section in high school.
Not everybody smoked, but
yeah, there was the courtyard.
No, I didn't have that, but it wouldn't surprise me if there were schools that had shooting clubs or whatever.
Yeah. I went to a really tiny school back when Avon there was nobody out there, and during hunting season the boys were allowed out of school to go to hunting season.
Yeah, I've heard even somewhat recently that kids.
If I may just finish the comment I was making is that I don't hear anybody talking about why is this stuff happening. It's happening, and everyone wants to address the symptom. We need more. We have proliferation of guns in our society. Our country is founded with firearms, and they're a part of us. And that we're trying to figure out how can we stop this from happening. I want to know why is it happening? What's going on in our country?
Yeah.
There's something morally broken down. The Christian church would say that we've gotten away from fundamental, tenets of Christianity or whatever.
Well, a lot of it is like the profiting, not just even at the corporation level, right? It's the individual level. Well, like I can't start a family until I'm at a certain level, in my career or whatever, where that poor people, rich people, middle class people, everyone would just have kids.
It was that was kind of like just how that's how, and now it's
like, I need to have my house paid off. I need to have a 6-figure job, whatever it is, and then I can start a family.
And I'm an early adopter of that mentality because I never got married because I wanted to get financially secure. And now I'm financially secure. I'm alone. I don't have a family. I don't have kids. I've got these guys.
That's right. That's right.
A couple young pucks to take care of.
But it's just...
It's like, they're my children.
Sorry. you pulled the short end of the...
But that's a good thing. I mean, but I'm trying to figure out if you're figuring that something's wrong with that, because I don't think a life not getting married is. I think it's a great thing,
It's not for everybody.
It isn't for everybody, but I think
it seems.
Figuring out what's for you.
It seems to me that the more modern our culture becomes and more progressive, etc., the less and less the things that we valued in the past are losing value. Family life, starting, family, raising children and whatnot.
It's all status and money.
With
social media, a lot of people.
Why is that? It's
you get to see like, oh my God, look at what so and so is doing. They're on a trip to Italy, or they just got off a private jet, or look at this super fancy restaurant, and then it's like, well, why is my life not like that? And I
really feel like now, at least I see it within my family. I think it's circling back around. Being with your kids. Yeah. That's spending the time with your kids, listening to your children. I think maybe, during our thing, it was what do you have, the house, this, the vacations, whatever you're saying. But I feel now our children learned from that and are now like, okay, now I don't need this, but I do want to have that time with my kids. I want to take them experience. And it doesn't have to be something that is Disney or, sorry, Disney, because you're great. But it doesn't.
I want to know.
Oh, I'm sorry. You never got to go?
I never, we were asked, but I was not like a Disney kid growing up.
Got it.
Now, had Star Wars been a Disney property when I was young?
Your dad would have been there. Even if you didn't get to go, he would have gone.
You need to go. But
I'm not... Star Wars hasn't long been ruined.
I think now, and even people that I work with that are that age, that have young children now, it's getting out in nature. Yeah. It's going hiking. It's all that has kind of, they're like bringing that back, and it's like no money fun.
Yep.
And that's what me and your mom did most of the time, was no money fun. We were out in the woods playing with the kids, and we were walking around town, going to things. yeah, it was a good time. I don't think we worried
Or
about
low money fun, like swings and things, which
swings and things. Yeah. I mean, we did that kind of stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's always the arcade or things like that. But I think we didn't worry about. I mean, and granted, I like
the
Cedar
fame
Point
and
too.
status, and
But we didn't go to those things a lot. We did enjoy just, hanging out and being with the kids and playing ball in the backyard or whatever. It couldn't be all the time because we did work. But I really, really feel like it's circling around now. And I think that's great.
Well,
I think it's parents getting together, like just speaking with my son, and they had a birthday party, and he's like, the parents were there, the kids were there, the parents are talking to each other. It was a great time to interact, and I think that's what we need. Before it was like, who has the best party and what did the kids get? And now it's more of a socialization. You get to know the parents, you get to know the kids, and I think community's coming back again.
Yeah, and I think that was something that like COVID was a big culprit of, getting rid of, right? I mean, again, you could say whether or not it was by design to keep people divided or, it was like just incompetence.
Wasn't it wild?
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it yesterday with my aunt, just like no time in history that I grew up, at the very least, where you considered anti-vax for not getting the influenza vaccine or the flu shot every year. But all of a sudden, you don't get the COVID vaccine and you're anti-vax, like just across the board. Mm-hmm. And that was...
It's true.
I think that's another thing that's like... kind of like what I was talking about earlier. People like, oh, they've done one bad thing, we're just going to write them off, right? Let's just slap one label, and like they're always just that label. They're not, again, more complex, nuanced person. They're just anti-vax, and I can't associate around an anti-vax person.
Right. No, I definitely see what you're saying. But it's like, I also think it, and to me, it's whatever choice you want to make. Yeah. But I also, the ones that were fearful for their children or older parents or whatever, that were pro-vaccination because that's what they were told and they truly believe it and still feel that it was the right thing to do. Yep. I think you do what's right for you.
Right.
And I'm not going to be like, I'm so mad at you because you did that. I'm just going to be like, hey, you did it for you, and you did it with the idea that you wanted to protect somebody else.
Yeah, my big issue was the mandates, right? Coming from
I
the
understand.
Right.
I do. Yeah. I do, and that's where it should be a choice. It should be a choice.
And to me, that was like kind of ironic, just like... To me, and again, this is a generalization, I feel like you get a lot of the my body, my choice people that then, in this situation, not my body, my choice. Or again, it's...
Sure.
Right.
You're always, I mean, that's what the world is. It's all, you're always going to have this person disagreeing with this person and, followers and leaders. And it's just difficult. You're right. But to be exiled because you didn't do something is not good either. But I don't know. It's a hard choice.
Jim,
would I have given my kids COVID shots? I don't know if I would have, but I had. Thank God I didn't have to make that decision.
I was so happy I didn't have to go to school with like masks because I would have.
If you even went to school.
Right. Yeah. And look at that. And you wonder what's going to happen. That's a great point. With the children that were outside of school and doing Zoom classes.
So I do quite a bit of outreach with like the local high schools and colleges, predominantly, sometimes middle schools. But there was like assistant or like administrators and teachers I was talking with. They had classes of students that essentially went from 5th grade to 9th grade, just totally missing middle school with the COVID lockdowns in some cases. And it's like, that's a huge part of your like progression, like developing, right? Like just like it's a big enough like jump going from like, hey, got recess, every day I go to school to 6th grade and getting used to like the whole locker sort of ideal, going to multiple different teachers, and like you're basically skipping out on all of that, going straight from being a kid with recess to now you're borderline an adult, freshman in high school, right?
All those challenges too, and that lack of interaction. I mean, because we all learn from the good and the bad that happens to us in school, right?
Yeah.
So there's, times where you remember like, oh man, that really was terrible. But it leads you into a direction that maybe is better maybe worse, but the interaction still is very important.
Well, and then from like the parenting perspective, we talked about, kind of hands-off parenting, but then I also grew up with like the helicopter parenting, like not my parents. I think like obviously they cared a lot, about my brother and I growing up, but also like gave us space, or like if it was like the drinking or whatever, like giving us their space to do it in a more controlled, sort of environment.
Yeah.
But we still had like the freedom, like go around the neighborhood, given very suburban area, and still like kind of enclosed neighborhood, not like gated off or whatever. But then just a few years later, kids growing up in the neighborhood younger than me, you can't go past the mailbox, like 4 houses down the road, right?
Right.
And not letting these kids develop. And then furthermore, and they go to school, they're not able to develop, if school gets called out. And I think that's also kind of goes hand in hand with kind of just like outsourcing. I don't know if we've mentioned this in this podcast, but it's been again on my mind a lot. As a country, we've gotten so used to outsourcing, like all of our products, a lot of our services, even like whether it's outsourced.
I like the idea of doing stuff more, that here. And
well, it's not even just like more here, but like even as an individual, like again, everyone outsources something, right? Like you don't do your own surgery. Like if you have to like go like get work done. Like,
just kidding. I do concrete. No. No, I get it. Yeah. I'm kidding.
But and so it's like everyone draws a line, but it's like seems that it's become more and more the norm. Like, oh, why would I stoop down to like doing that myself? There's someone that like could or should take care of this for me, right?
Okay.
And I think the same thing has happened with like education, where kids get into 3rd, 4th grade, even high school, and the reading and writing level, like the illiteracy rates are incredible, and like grossly misreported as well, because all these schools are getting their funding based off their graduation rates. And then of course, parents like, you're going to pass through my little Johnny, my little Susie.
Because,
right?
All right. So you're saying
and, like,
they just are
getting
passed.
pushed along.
They're just
right.
Whatever they do.
And we have like brilliant, sort of engineering minded like students or whatever that work with us, but like none of them can like sign their name, like even like their first and last name in cursive, right? And then even just some of them, like their handwriting, it's like one kid is in college now, and like this is maybe being kind, 4th grade sort of handwriting, and like probably less, and not like a good 4th grade, like, and I think my mom had even said like kindergarten, 1st grade, and it's like some of these basic skills like writing, reading, it's like kids don't read anymore. I mean, and it's like, unless the answer is being given to them, like just the ability, like, and what I'm getting at is like, it's gone beyond products and services that we're outsourcing. It's like outsourcing thinking, right, as individuals.
Yeah.
Outsourcing parenting and like teaching your kids how to like read and write. Oh no, the public education system's going to take care of that for me. And
I still think it's circling around. I really do. I do think it's circling around. I think maybe at a time everybody, having things that seemed like the important thing to do. And so everybody wanted to provide their kids with great things. I mean, video games. It's like, man, if you didn't have one, what's wrong with you? You don't have a video game. I know that was like something that was introduced for my children. But talking about, and I'm going to take this, but
only I can do that, Nancy.
Right? No. Well, I'm going to do it this time. But anyway, with that being said, and the beauty of technology. Now, I know technology is taking children away. You see them on tablets. They're playing games. And I'm sure there's probably some kind of benefit from that. If it's in moderation, like you said before, moderation. I am actually blessed with technology because I am fortunate. My grandchildren live across country, and every weekend I am so fortunate that my son and my daughter-in-law, they have a tablet set up, and my grandchildren call me, and I spend hours reading, playing games. That's and awesome. literally spans, whatever time frame they have.
Yeah.
I have stacks of books back there because I'm on every weekend. Thank you guys for doing that for
Reading
me.
time.
It is definitely a gift. And I get to...
Are you Nana Nancy? Or
I am Nana Nancy. Yeah. So, but I literally sit there and read book after book after book with them. And we play Star Wars. They love Star Wars now too, just like you, just like my Jake.
Yep.
So I literally have the 1990s Darth Vader
like
helmet
voice,
mask, with the voice thing.
Okay, yeah.
So that I put on
Yeah.
when I'm on with my grandsons. And my son said, "Oh my God!" I walked by and there was Darth Vader on the tablet, and it's like I think it's circling around because we have to know the importance of being read to and the importance of playing,
Yep.
like literally joy of playing, and even. They're across country, and we're still doing it because of technology, and that's a beautiful thing. So,
what are Jake's kids' names again? Your grandkids?
Rowan and Callum and Arlo.
Okay. And you ever do like Rowan, I am your grandmother? I don't
do. I mean, I try to do my best Darth Vader as I possibly can.
Okay.
So we become who.
Together we will rule the galaxy.
They have their lightsaber. I mean, it's fantastic. It's time to just enjoy hanging out and playing, bringing play and reading and all that back again. I mean, dinosaurs, they have to correct me every single time I say a dinosaur's name because I will never get it
Are
right.
you Nana or what are you referring
I am
to?
Nana.
Okay, that's awesome. Nana Nancy.
Nana Nancy.
I feel like that could be a children's book.
Right, or Fancy Nancy is a children's book.
Fancy Nancy, okay.
There already is one, but there's the Nancys are only around my age anyhow. I don't think that's a name that's going to make a comeback anytime soon.
There was a girl I grew up with that just comes to mind. Negative Nancy was. She was like an emo goth girl. Yeah.
And there's Debbie Downer. There's that one.
Yeah. Never. Actually, I did grow up with a Debbie. She was. Yeah.
Was she a Downer? We're not gonna. No, she was glorious.
Yeah, she was a wonderful,
she was a lovely lady, lovely girl.
And I definitely don't think it was like a teenage mom, and like definitely not into like the wrong crowd, and definitely
Good person, good stock.
Well, again, I don't know like her upbringing. It's easy for me to like talk with like great parents, and
that's the beauty of being different people, and that's where I find like I don't even delve into and I know probably people are disappointed that it's like I don't delve into politics. I just want to do, I try my best just to do.
All right, Nancy, Trump or Kamala? Let's. No.
Yeah, I know. I'm not. No, I know. Me. I want me. But.
Jacob for president.
Yeah, right. There you go. I'll drive around with you and do these podcasts all the time. You running?
Yeah.
Are you running? Let's do it. I'll make the buttons.
I'm working on getting some of our Congress people. Went recently and spoke with Congresswoman Mace out of South Carolina. Started reaching out to some of our local Congress people.
You're just getting into everything, aren't you?
Not everything, but
nice.
yeah.
I'm impressed.
Again, be the change that you want to see, or Michael Jackson, the man in the mirror,
Yeah.
And
that's, I think we both agree with that.
Yeah.
I think we both agree with that. It's like be the person. Not that we don't fail. And I'm sure there's people that would be like, Nancy, I remember. And it's like, yes. But we learn from what we do and what we experience. And if we come out of it a little bit better, that's a great thing. We have the heart to want to help. I think that's what it comes down to at the end.
So someone that's had such success in their life, both like now professionally and then growing up with great kids, now great grandkids.
Yes, they are. All of them, all of the above. Yeah.
What moments have kind of stuck out to you as I don't know, defining moments, as like being a mom, becoming a grandmother that like really like has stood out to you, that you can maybe impart on others, that like obviously everyone's figuring it out, but someone that's kind of been through the runaround, like what advice you have to young mothers that, or prospective young mothers or young couples trying to figure out the best way to parent. And
I think hindsight's really easy, but when you're in it,
Yep.
you're going to make mistakes.
Yep.
You're going to make mistakes, and those mistakes they'll pop into your head even now. And there's times where it's like, I'll be, looking at one of the kids and I'm like, I'm really sorry I did that. They're like, I don't even remember that happening. But to me, it's
right.
It affects you for your lifetime. So I think the things are, for as a parent, any kind of advice, I would say time is really important. I think that when I prioritize, I went in other ways and I chased the priorities that I thought were important, like establishing a home or giving people what they wanted. I was away. I stepped out on my kids, and that was bad, and I can't go back and change that. So I think, they don't care about really what they have and everything. I think they would have cared about the time more. I wish. So I would say giving to young parents, and I know everybody has to work, but there is joy in that breakfast in the morning, or those notes you put in to the lunch boxes or whatever. It's the time, like, keep everything off the table. Let's talk about your day. Yep. Let's see, let's see, because whether you're 5 or 50, what you did and felt that day should be important to the people around you. Yeah. It really should. So I think we've all closed off and, kind of stepped away from, because it's easy to have phones on the table. It's easy to be upset about your day. But if you just leave it all behind and just take that dinner time and get dinner time back again, that would be a beautiful thing. Everybody meets up and talks, and occupations do have a hazard with that. Sometimes you can't make that dream come true, but I think idealistically, I think if I were to give the chance again, I would have wanted less and wanted to be there more. I think that would be my advice.
Now, that's one thing that I've heard a lot about, like the cost of daycare, or childcare nowadays. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's some parents, and whatever, that's actually what they want to do, more power to them. But right. I feel like a lot of them, well, we got to work this second job so we can afford daycare. It's like, mm-hmm. well, what if, like, just one wasn't working that second job, and you could, again,
and it's a choice,
right?
Because somebody might love their career and not want to give up their career. Right. So there has to be. It's a very difficult thing to do. And it used to be just natural. People would one would stay home, one would go to work, and the kids, and it's not like that, because we are individuals, but we have to get back to being
cohesive, like
a little bit again, because it
takes
it's
a village,
lovely, right? It does. And now look at that. And when you were growing up, now you call me Aunt Nancy, right? Yeah. And I was your grandpa's neighbor, but we were interacted so much throughout, and me and your mom, we could go, a year, we could go 6 months, whatever it is, without talking to each other. But as soon as we're on that phone, what was it the other day? An hour and 45 minutes?
Yeah, easy, yeah.
Yeah.
The pre-show that.
Yeah. And that happens, that's a great thing to be able to come back to that. But I think, I would, to give parents, I love what my own family is doing right now with that. So, and I just think it's beautiful. So I would hope that more people would, and even the neighborhood here, the kids are all playing and the parents are talking. Yeah, I think that would be the thing to come back again.
And now you mentioned, especially now modern days, it's like, well, I'm a strong, independent woman. I like have my own career, my own dreams to pursue. And like, that's like pushed on a lot of women that I feel like a lot of times they feel obligated to pursue that more so than
true. Yeah, that could be
actually
true.
Want it, right?
Right. Given a choice, I wouldn't want to had worked, so many long hours, given a choice. But, that's if that's what you have, then if you have to, I totally get it. If you're doing it just to get things that you really don't need, then that's a whole nother situation. Like I said, in mine, I think I went to the wrong route, and it's like, oh, I need to show that I have this and I'm okay. I'm okay. I survived everything, and I'm okay. Right. And it's like, and that wasn't necessary. They would rather I didn't, I think.
And I guess to that end, like, when did you have Jacob? How old were you?
I was 26.
And from like 18 to 26, did you have like these dreams, like grandiose, like goals, ambitions? Like, did you have like this like dream career?
I was lost. No, I didn't. I like literally all I wanted to do was get a paying job. Yep. That's it. I didn't understand college. I went took a couple of classes, and I didn't understand.
Fellow dropout.
Yep. There we go. But I did go. I circled around and came back. I did circle around and come back again. So
can't say the same.
Yeah. No, I did. So at that time, I think it was, and I think family members also were like, when you're going to get married, you're getting up there. I mean, at that time, 18, 19, you were like, don't you have
why are you waiting?
Yeah, don't you have somebody to get married to? So I think that, I don't think that's a good thing to push. I don't. But when we were growing up, all your friends were getting married. That was kind of how life was supposed to be. Yeah. But did I have any aspirations at that time? No, but I always wanted to be a mom. I knew I always wanted to be a mom. So that was cool. Yeah, that was really important. But then I did go back to college. I graduated from Tri-C. So, that was cool. So, and that gave me that experience. I did it actually to get a better job, because I had been applying. I was leaving the court reporting firm, and I was going other places. And if I had a degree of even if it was an associate's degree, your pay rate goes up. So I was doing that, and I never thought I would be able to get through college, and that was really an accomplishment because I did it. I still worked. Went to school. I would get up in the morning. I'd do homework. I'd go into work. I'd leave work at 4. I'd drive out to college, and I'd leave college at 11 o'clock at night and come back home and do it all again. But, at the time, it was like, and now it's over. And I'm like, oh, I did it. So that was cool.
Is there any aspect like, how did I do that? Or
would you want to do it again? Probably
not. No. But
No.
There's other people that love going to school. So, and that's good. But would I want to do it again? No. I'm done. I'm telling you. I'm like, we talked about this. You're retired.
Yep.
And I'm going to go to part-time. And I'm looking forward to a lot.
You will love being retired or working less.
So what during your week? What's going on?
Well, I'm full-time music.
As little as possible.
So let's switch it around.
Yeah.
Here.
I'm involved with these guys for one thing,
Okay.
which is a really interesting, part of my life right now.
Do you cook?
Not a little bit, not
I
much.
don't either. There's
That's
no
something.
need.
If I want to
I'm
do that,
retired.
though, if I want to do that, I can do that.
Yeah,
you can
that's
cook
the
and
glory of getting old.
You can
That
really
is
get
glorious.
involved in that. Cooking is and eating. Sit down with people you care about and have a good meal is one of the few things that I do that I really.
I think I would like to
really
bring that back too. Having dinners and people coming over and the conversations again.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that when I retire,
Yeah.
part-time retire.
Everybody I've taught, it'll be. Let's see, it was.
Oh, you teach music?
6 years. I'm not really. I could do that, but I don't really see a need for that where I am and what I want to do. But it's 6 years of being retired as of August the 1st of this year.
Wow.
And I've told everybody this, not a single day has gone by that I wish that I said I made a mistake.
Turn it.
Jim has done retirement right because again, a lot of people like given you were able to get there at an earlier age than most, right? But it's like my PJ. I mean, he socialized or whatever, but Papa Joel, like my grandfather on my dad's side, like. All to varying degrees became vegetables, like shortly after retirement.
You're talking
think
about
so much about PJ again.
Okay, well,
to some degree, right? I mean, it's not
No,
like he was like
what you're saying is they were
and-
disconnected,
right, and like again,
didn't
kind
do
of
much
like
of anything.
yeah, like don't want to make new friends, don't want to go out and necessarily meet new people, and like experience more of the world, the opportunity that has provide, where you're using it as an opportunity to go and do more that you weren't like not that you weren't able to do, but like
when
you
you're
were
working,
focused on like a career and doing well at it, right?
Traveling sales and all over the place, and it was real intense.
Sales don't make themselves, right?
Oh,
real
my God, it
intense.
does sales. It's work. It's
Yeah.
hard work.
Yeah. If you're,
It's no concrete.
You have to have the personality for it too.
And somehow Jim still got through.
I'm one of these. I'm one of these people that can kind of morph.
Poor Brian. Just went,
rip Brian's hearing.
I just totally took Brian's ears out there. Sorry about that, dear.
You're good. James done that 4 or 5 times.
Oh, my stars. Yeah.
It's like-
apologies. But anyways, so you're loving it. That's cool.
Yeah, so but you
I'm
do like a
bringing it
big you do a big band rehearsal a
I
week.
play in a big band. I play in a smaller version of a big band, jazz. I play jazz pickup gigs. I play in a Bob Seger tribute band, rock and roll band. It's a lot of fun. And
you need to watch the Gar Hogan episode of our podcast. He's the Bob Seger not impersonator, that's not the right word, but
he's the front man.
Yeah,
for the
the
band.
front
He
man,
owns the
Okay.
band.
Very great vocalist. Yeah,
really, really good. Really good.
All right. So how often then do you do that in this retirement phase?
We play probably once a month, I would
Nice.
say.
That's enough.
We just played in Michigan 2 months ago at the Brown Trout Fishing Festival in Alpena, Michigan. So
Did you
here's
get
Michigan.
a shirt?
Oh,
Did
yeah,
you-
of course. It's way up here on Lake Ontario, I think is the lake on
Michigan, Lake Michigan.
It was not. It's not
Okay.
Lake Michigan. I think it's Lake Ontario.
Okay.
Is that right? This is Erie. Erie is real close to here. But,
Yeah.
So it's just enrichment. Doing things that you
So
can't do.
fun. That sounds so fun. Yeah.
It would have been Lake Huron. Lake Huron.
Lake Huron. Okay. Yep.
Huh.
But so you do the big band rehearsals each week, then almost weekly the jam nights over at my parents' house. So
with your dad?
Yeah,
That's how I met his dad. Was through music.
Jam
That's how
nights.
I got to meet him.
Okay.
That we'll have to have you down for one now, especially.
Man,
So
you're
you're doing
whip-
singing or vocals?
Singing.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna do a duet.
Yeah.
Me and you.
Do you know what Fits in the Tantrums at all?
No.
They have a great lead vocalist, the male and female vocalist.
Okay.
And I think great music. So I'll
You will
send you some
me
songs.
something.
Yes.
We're gonna get ready. We're gonna be ready for this.
I would love to do that.
Yeah, jam night. We're
Yeah.
gonna be out
and then
there.
they're like, "Oh my God, Jacob can't sing to save his life."
And you're gonna be like, well, thank God, she's a little bit worse.
We'll have a good time, and that's what will matter.
all that
Yeah.
matters. I think that would be really fun because that's what it is. It's
It's good free fun, right?
Great musicians, I think, that can play well together and have no egos, I think can make great fun music. And so, I think just having fun, joy, that's it.
I did have a problem with this recently because I haven't.
With him?
No, actually, a cousin.
You look that way.
Yeah. Well, because he's part of it. Because my cousin, great singer, and it's always been said like, hey, if you guys want to sing or whatever, go ahead. But I've always felt like, oh, well, this is my dad's thing, Jim's thing, Wayne, another one of the friends. I don't want to step on anyone's toes, especially like my cousin Jonathan comes in. And I feel like there was like an ego thing where like, oh, Jacob can somewhat sing. Again, maybe not like as good as him or whatever, but like it's different, right?
Somewhat singer too.
Yeah.
So we will have a great time. We'll have a great. But I think you're harder on yourself than and like I said, if you see somebody that's singing and like is feeling it, it doesn't matter if they hit the right note. It's a good time. It's fun. Granted, I'm not taking away from the most beautiful singers in the world. Yeah, they have a talent. They either created it or is God-given. I'm not taking away from that, but for us, not so.
Yeah.
God-given.
For us part-timers. Yeah.
There's a place.
Very part-timers.
There's a place for us. And it's fun.
There's a place for us.
Well, and Jim, similarly, he will downplay his abilities in that regard as well.
I do some harmony. I also play in a Joe Cocker tribute band, which hasn't done
cool.
much, and I do some harmony singing there.
Well, and then if you're familiar with the Bob Dylan or Jerry Garcia has a very popular version of Tangled Up in Blue.
Okay.
Like, he kills it. Like, and I'm
Okay.
not like, no, so there are times, and again, it's like human, right? Like, you're not always in it. You're not always feeling it. And like, sometimes it's been a while since they've gotten together, and like, they'll maybe play the song, you know, like a 5 out of 10, a 6 out of 10. But like, I've definitely heard you not just play it and like you guys play it together, but you sing it like a 9 out of 10. Like, if I had that recorded, that would be on my playlist. Like that,
Really?
yeah, that would be listening to.
Well,
Is your
Bob
ringtone?
Dylan. Bob Dylan's not.
Yeah.
He's not the
for
greatest.
my ringtone for Jim.
Yeah.
Tangled up in blue.
Bob Dylan's not the greatest vocalist by all, but still.
But-
yeah.
Nancy's
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
Exactly, but it's
Feeling it,
it's
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
It's very cool. And swinging that back around. Oops, sorry, Mike. But swinging it back around. A lot of the people I work with in the legal field are musicians. Why? Because it's discipline.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to really.
The scales, like Ethan was talking
You
about.
know,
yeah.
you've got to want to put the time in, and there's a lot of them that do music too, which is cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's something like Jim was asking, like, hey, do you have time for this? Like, you know, it's a commitment. And that's where, like, again, I'm not looking to, like, go start a real band that goes and does touring and live shows and whatever. But it is, like, already sing in, like, the car or the shower, or, like, sometimes at the office or whatever. It's like, is it really going to, like, derail me too much if, like, every so often get together and, like, obviously there's time in between getting together to actually like then make a video around it or whatever, but that seems like there's a lot worse.
That's what you want to do, is start doing the videos of you singing?
Yeah, like doing like a cover, like sort of like
Brian, you got it back, man.
I would also like, there's a popular song called or Handlebars. I think it's commonly called No Handlebars though. And I would like to do a cover of that, but actually like do a music video of it, especially with Brian's animation and like video editing abilities.
Cool.
I think,
That's amazing. That's an art all in itself.
Yeah.
Editing and doing that's cool.
It really is. We'll save it for after the podcast. Should you be so interested, or at least feign interest, we started producing our own like short form sitcom series, just as another way where our media business has all been like contract for a hire sort of work. So like going out to an event, going out to
Garth?
I could, right? Yeah. Party on, excellent. Yeah, I actually get that.
I know, right? I'm impressed.
My parents went as I can't even remember the other Wayne. Yeah.
Wayne.
Duh.
Yeah,
Wayne and Garth.
World.
Excellent.
Yeah. Oh, did they dress up like that?
Yeah, for one Halloween in the last like handful of years.
Beavis and Butthead, all that.
They did a Charlie. No, my dad did Charlie Brown, and who did my mom? do that?
Wayne did Charlie Brown.
I know my dad's also done Charlie
Has
Brown.
he?
Yeah,
I have not seen that. I've seen
I think he
Wayne.
might have even
Wayne
shaved
was
his head.
Charlie
Yeah.
Brown, and I mean, this guy looks like Charlie Brown. I mean, he had the tennis shoes.
Charlie Brown all
and
grown up. It's
He
like,
had a
Shirt.
yellow shirt with the black. You know, he looks like Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tom
a heart
Ball.
monitor thing going across it. Yeah, that's funny. Wow. See, look at you're an old soul.
Yeah.
It's probably because you hung out with your mom and dad,
Yeah.
and that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's why you branch the divide. The people you were with yesterday definitely.
I like to think I'm fairly relatable. Like,
Yeah.
Because
That's good.
I'm like a
Well,
goody
this
two
business
shoe.
you're
Like,
gonna
yeah.
have to be.
I'm a goody two shoe sort of nerd, you know, on one hand, and then I've had fun life experiences on the other. And to your point, like I'll talk like in like the outreach I go do at schools, and I'll keep it mostly politically correct, and but I'll say a lot of like what the teachers will say as well, but it's because I'm younger, or look younger. I look
Right.
almost like I could be in their class, that I'm more relatable. Right. But at the same time, I'm also relatable to the teachers because I'm an adult, telling the kids the same thing. And that
How often do you go into the schools?
almost weekly, if not even sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
Now,
Definitely monthly.
Do you
but yeah.
do the drone? Do you?
Yeah, we do
Dem-
like demos and presentations,
All right.
and then like some of the schools will actually like buy them from us or like do workshops or like sort of like workshop sort of programs, and some schools we've done camps with or whatever. But
I know this is gonna. I don't know if this is a good question or a bad question or a dumb.
it's
question.
an awful question,
It's a
the dumbest
horrible
question.
but I'm gonna go with it. But with current events now, and
drones.
and the guns and the violence in school, are drones out there?
So there was the
Are they like watching at all times?
Not at a lot of schools. I think that is going to become more common.
Yeah.
What I was interested in after that Uvalde, Texas school shooting, the one that was like made all the news, the cops didn't rush in. And,
right. They were, no, I know what you're talking about.
And there's a company called Axon that makes the body cameras for a lot of police departments. And they've gone, I think they purchased a company that was making drones. And then they were at least promoting the idea of having tasers on drones and actually having those in the schools. So instead of putting, a police officer in harm's way,
you've got a drone floating around in the hallways, you're talking?
Not during school, but only like during a lockdown sort of period, right? So like, hey, there's a lockdown, dispatch the drone, go find the person. If you can actually tase them and apprehend them with the drone, even better. But if not, actually
limiting
just like,
how much danger you're putting other people in, going in with guns out.
Right. And I actually did get pushback for somewhat supporting that. Again, it's like, do we really want taser drones in school? Maybe like not in the schools, but maybe.
It does sound horrible in a way, doesn't it?
Especially like, and I was talking with Roger, the guy that owns a local drone repair shop up here. I say local, but nationally acclaimed drone repair shop. He was talking about the risk of like, what if those drones with tasers, they're connected to the internet, or they could be connected to like the school's network. They could be hacked in, and then someone could like just dispatch the taser drones during normal school hours and then go tase kids, right?
Because they can hack into just about anything anyhow.
My mom was driving like a 2014 Jeep Cherokee for a while, and that was like right as like the lane assist technology was coming out. So technically speaking, the cars have the ability to completely steer themselves, and with them being connected to the internet, they were actually getting hacked into, and some people were driving them into like concrete barriers. Luckily it never happened to my mom or anyone.
Right, and it's all been fixed.
But again, it's fixed, and like it's not a big enough value for someone to hack in. Like, who are you really like? You're really right. Unless you're a super
how
high
much damage are you going to do hacking this?
Right. Unless it's like a Princess Diana, like we need to take her out in the tunnel sort of deal. Like, do they have a car that we could hack into? Unless you're that sort of high profile, like, hey, you're challenging the status quo. The juice ain't worth the squeeze. Yeah. But now if it was like, hey, we can hack into your cars and steal all your money through your car, that would probably be a lot more interesting to people. But the Uvalde school shooting, there's the taser drones, and I was getting pushback at a local like technology startup circle where there's not really a lot of other people building real notable startups anyways. There was a lot of like old consultant type people thinking that they know how to build a business and never have built a business a day in their life. And
venture capitalist people, they got the money,
but these weren't even the ones with the money.
Really?
Yeah, they're just like, hey, we've worked at corporate, so we know how to.
We know how to do it.
We know how to build a business from the ground up. Given all they knew really how to do was collect a paycheck, and maybe a little bit more than that, but not much more. Wow, Jacob is an asshole. Newsflash! Extra, read all about it. Yeah.
No, but it is just, I mean, it's so scary. It's so scary. And to think that the solution is also scary. Yeah. I don't know. I don't, like I said, I'm hoping that things are turning around and that these new generations are going to be more apt to bring the family life, that kind of thing, back together, so that you're not having. I guess I shouldn't really judge it because I have no idea what happened to the people that actually go in there and do these things. But I feel like they're there's a great wave that's approaching, and it's going to get rid of like a lot of what we're talking about now. It's so sad how it is now, and I'm hoping that's the way it is going. But
And I think it's by and large good, right? It's getting just like, obviously, maybe not obviously, but like there are more school shootings than, had happened previously.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's also far more information about what's going around in like some
True.
bumfuck
We're
nowhere school
reaching
that we
it,
would
yeah.
never ever hear about previously.
yeah.
But
Well, I like the idea of the drones because look at all the things that people can see, like all the cameras now that are out there in this world. It's like you see things happening or,
and to me, like,
I like the idea.
to me that's the important part about what we're
easier.
doing is like all of these large government agencies and the big corporations, they already have access to all these cameras and all this information about the world around us. And where I see drones coming into play as like an equalizer for the world. So if you were to have your own drone, you can have it remotely go access information that you wouldn't otherwise be able to access, or at least be able to more conveniently access that information. Even like you're using in the legal perspective.
Right.
Going and
Right. Forensics.
Like, and actually like physically like getting a device or a vehicle, in the case of a drone, out to a location that you don't necessarily have to be at, right?
Right.
And then beyond information, actually tangibly interacting with the world. Like you having your own drone for your household and you using it as like a curbside pickup delivery vehicle, right? So you send your drone from your house to the local Amazon locker to the
and they
local,
pick it up.
Yeah, and so that's not something that really anyone is really working towards in the way that we are. And to me, like that's like there's Henry Ford, even in the early days of the automotive industry, like he was thought of great, like everyone's gonna have one of these, a car, right? Like they're just toys for rich people, right? Exactly, right? Like, and I think the same will be the case with drones. Like some people may just have one drone for the household. Some may have like, hey, we have a smaller drone, can go do smaller delivery missions for us, like maybe pick up my cup of coffee or whatever. But my kids can also go play laser tag with that one. Versus we have a larger one that we send out and can go do our weekly grocery shopping, without us having to actually go to the store,
sound
right?
like the Jetsons?
Yes. And I remember when people were saying in the 90s, oh, one day you'll order your groceries online and they might be delivered to your house. And people were like, oh, come on, give me a break. And that's exactly
we have that
what's
with
happening.
We are, yeah.
And it's like, why? And we were talking about this on the way
But
over
does
here.
it, I don't want to say it in a bad, but does that cause isolation also?
It does for the people that are already wanting to isolate themselves, right? It's just
Okay.
further enabling them to. But it's also enabling the people that do want to go out and about and interact with people and places that they care
Or
about
like-
and want to get.
I was saying with children.
Right.
The mom doesn't have to leave. She has the groceries brought to her.
Right, like you're cooking dinner.
Sorry to
Like,
interrupt.
well, and like even just from a neighbor perspective, right? Like I'm cooking dinner and like I don't want to go to the store to go get an onion or whatever, right? Like let me just send my drone over to the neighbor. And right now that's illegal. And it's like, why is that illegal for me to set my drone out in the front yard, fly it over to my neighbor's house on an automated mission, and it lands in their front yard, and over time, it can even just like notify the neighbor, hey, Nancy's drone is about to land in your yard, and you had maybe already called ahead of time asking for
trespassing something, or
what's
the deal?
So
I don't get it.
You cannot operate a drone unless you are keeping your eyes on it at all times. And so you as a company can go through the process to get a waiver to get around that.
So as soon as it's out of my or my eyesight or my range.
Didn't they vote on that though? And
there's new legislation coming out to make it so you don't have to get waivers, but as a corporation, as a company so like Amazon or UPS or Walmart, they can manage these large fleets of delivery drones and operate them beyond visual line of sight. But the everyday American is getting fucked over, where that's like the automotive industry was developed to where we could never own and use our own cars. The only way that we could use cars is if we had to like get on public transportation or use an Uber or a taxi sort of service, right?
Yeah.
Keeping all of the ownership and operation within large companies and government agencies. And to me, like, we're going to fall behind really China if we don't, like, because we're already a decade behind in the drone industry compared to China. And it's not like we're going to like catch up and surpass them doing the same thing that they're doing as far as how they're building drones as essentially flying cameras, right? But if we're thinking about them as flying personal assistants, right? That's a way that we can show how drones can be used in a way that just China would never be willing to let their people use drones in that sort of way.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's, really my like main focus. Like that's my calling in life, and everything else that I'm doing is either funding that or trying to like help evangelize it, like get the message out there. So
you want a drone in every home?
Every home, every business. Yes.
Nice.
Just like people have a car.
Right?
A car, a computer.
Okay.
That's exactly what I say.
Okay.
That's the
I mean, it would
Yeah.
be cool to, it's like, because I have to jump in the car if I'm missing something from an ingredient and I got to jump in the car and go.
Or like my uncle would be a prime candidate, right? You know, like watering the garden, you know, if you like just have the drone, like go do an automated mission, that same delivery drone, right? Water your garden,
What if I forget to
fertilize
take out
your
the
yard.
garbage or something? Like carry garbage out?
So like that one,
big
not so much.
That
but
one?
That
I'd
one
have to
can
be
has
big.
3 pounds.
I want a big
but,
one, yeah.
But I mean, we work with drones that can carry like me, right? Or most of them are in like 20, 30 pounds at the higher end of what we work with. But we
but
like
if
there
you were
are
to forget
passenger
something.
drones, right? And that's like, you can go over to China and I think Abu Dhabi and Dubai to a lesser degree, but the drones themselves are coming out of China. Equivalent of like a 2-seater sort of refined car-like experience and travel across some of their cities in a passenger drone. And
No way.
yeah, and it's like very kind of
never have known this
And again, it's like so ethereal, far-fetched to most Americans because we're a decade behind in like developing this technology, like building out the infrastructure to produce the electric motors. And I mean, that's a big part of it is the electric motors. And same thing with EVs, like electric vehicles. Like China is actually, at least maybe up until very recently, but for the last 2, maybe 3 years, they were building Lincolns in China. Because it's like our own automotive manufacturers can't build the cars. Yeah.
Really?
Our luxury automotive manufacturers, because they could be made better in China. And it's not the cost that,
They're just that more advanced.
Yeah.
Okay.
And have people committed to doing that sort of work because they see like really without manufacturing, you don't really have a country. And again, we're starting to see that when we become such a services driven economy. Well, now if we're importing all of our goods that we rely on from other places, all of our money that would be going into Americans' pockets, going into the pockets of building up the Chinese, and nothing against the Chinese people.
Sure,
but
I get it.
Yeah,
but
it's a very real trade-off. And it's like, well, you know, now we get to make more money doing services, not having to do this hard work, but then it's just creating the disparity more amongst our own people instead of lifting up all of our people together and saying like, hey, we're going to have more haves and have-nots within the American border versus more of the have-nots being outside of the American border. And that, because now it's like all the services are going up so much in cost because everyone else is providing services. So it's just charging for time, right? Instead of, hey, this is something that can provide value over and over and over again that you make a one-time purchase for. And just... we have not had the right incentives and subsidies in place by and large. It's like, hey, let's focus on corn. And obviously, you know, corn's been a big part of my life growing up. So I should shut the fuck up. Find the hand that feeds me.
Don't you knock your first
Why don't you
job.
move back here and start doing that again? And instead of delivering the corn, you can fly it over with a drone.
Exactly.
That's exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, and so... you're like, who is the major drone manufacturer here?
We're up there, as sad as it is to say, like for our country. But again, like we built, sold, and delivered 36. There are companies here in the United States that have built hundreds or thousands.
So you're getting it on the ground floor with this.
Yes, yeah. I mean,
that's cool.
I mean, ground floor as far as the United States. Again, China. I like to say, you know,
I get it.
Hopefully we're not a decade too late and we're just a decade behind. But I first and foremost want drones for every household and business for like the consumer and commercial purposes that we're talking about. But I don't know how much you've seen like the Ukraine-Russia war. They're using small like $500,000, $2,000 drones like this far more effectively than the $1 million drones, $10 million drones, $100,000 drones.
That brings up a good. How much is a drone?
So that one right there we sell for $1,500.
Oh, that doesn't seem bad.
And it's
I mean,
about
it seems
800.
Legit.
Yeah.
It's very sturdy. It is.
It's very rebuildable as well.
Yeah.
So it's designed like, I like to say drones are like motorcycles. It's not if you crash, it's when you crash them. But luckily, at least with non-passenger drones, you're not on board, right? And yeah, taking the brunt of the damage with the drone. And so almost all of that is 3D printed. Like all the plastic pieces are 3D printed. We do all of that design and then the 3D printing in-house. But it's designed to be repairable. So like you crash it, none of the electronics pretty much ever break in a crash, but the plastics will. But for $2-3 worth of material, as long as you have a 3D printer, you're back up and running. And so we don't have the drone for every home and business right now. It's again more for
I love
like
the idea in the schools.
Yeah, because what we need in this country, there's about 2 million drone operators in this country, maybe a little less than that. 1 million of them are registered between, and about half of that is like recreational, half of that is commercial. But we don't have people that know how to build them, how to maintain them, repair them, develop software for them. And that's like what's needed to actually build a drone industry. Because it's one thing to like, hey, we're going to provide services with drones that are built over in China, but there's like just not enough people that actually, one, are interested, or two, are aware that we have this problem and that have the skill sets to actually address it. So that's a lot of the outreach that I'm doing.
I was going to say, and that brings us here for your podcast and getting it known, and how it can, like you asked me, how can it be in the legal field? I mean, like I said, I'm on the outskirts of the legal field, but the forensics, like when you're looking at a car crash or, skid marks, or you can have a drone flying in that area and looking at things, and do the same thing.
To me, again,
taking the aerial pictures of things,
For me, I'm first and foremost, like, more than even the commercial sectors, the consumers, like, how can you, like, as an individual, benefit from a drone from, in your everyday life? And it's like most people now is like, why would I want a drone? And then like I can't fly a drone, like the controller, like that's too complex. But it's like anyone can get around in their car with Google Maps nowadays, right? And it's like, what if we just make
Google Maps.
What if we just make our software, which it very much already looks like Google Maps, so where you just tell your drone where you want it to go,
and
right?
Cool.
And so like, nice. Hey, instead of me. And right now our software is like, if you wanted to send your drone to, let's say, a local Starbucks or whatever around here, you would have to like type in the address for the Starbucks, and then you would have to like kind of set points on the map for the route that you want your drone to take from like where it's taking off to where it's landing. And you could just like set like one waypoint, essentially, like have your drone take off to 400 feet, which is like the default legal limit, and then just fly as the crow flies over to Starbucks, come straight down and land, in a curbside pickup spot or, a surrounding area. And that sounds great in theory, but then if you think about like terrain and building data, like trees, or and then large groups of people, like avoiding flying over those people, and so doing something like Google Maps does, where
what
you
about
don't have to like
fire stations, police stations, things like that. You can't fly over.
No, so there's
you gotta stay out of the way.
There's restricted airspaces around airports, and then like military operating areas.
Yeah.
But no, we've actually worked with law enforcement down by us where they have problems with people using drones to deliver contraband into the prisons. And so it's not illegal to fly a drone over a prison as long as you're keeping your eyes on it. But the moment that then you release the cargo, then you're smuggling drugs, right? But then they're
smuggling contraband.
Or because it could be guns.
Could be drugs.
Yeah, cell phones.
Well, I get what he's saying. Yeah, it could be anything.
Right.
It could be anything. They just want to get it over the wall.
Right.
Whatever it is. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Never even thought about that.
Yeah, and similarly, I was showing like an FAA law enforcement officer. We built a flamethrower attachment for one of our developers, a flying flamethrower.
Just on a whim?
Yeah, because I was asking some, like, again, doing the outreach, work with a lot of, like,
Starting to
some
rethink
high
this.
school, college students, hypothetically speaking.
What?
And we actually, like, flew it. I'll show you the video afterwards. We flew it outside in front of my parents' house, like, in the middle of the cul-de-sac. And there's, like, just off camera,
Just
kids
torched
playing.
a little area.
Yeah.
That neighbor that you're mad at, you could send your drone over with the flamethrower and set their house on fire. So because of that kind of thing is going to be a huge...
But again, there's already...
because people are going to use it for evil. They're
Right,
gonna,
but again, there's already laws against, committing those crimes, like setting fire to someone's house. It's like, what, now we're going to, like, create another specific law?
you can't walk over with a can of gasoline. Is that illegal now?
No, I got a drone.
Right.
Yeah.
But again, it's like what, and to me, it's like even worst case scenario. If I'm just doing a basic mundane mission, like I'm your next door neighbor. Hey Nancy, I'm making my breakfast sandwich and I need an egg.
Yeah.
Can you, like, that's illegal for me to do so. As I was mentioning.
Yeah.
Earlier. And fuck, I was gonna tie that back.
Sorry, we took you away.
No, totally.
But now they use it for firefighting also, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Firefighting, I've seen like some sprayer drones that are on like tether systems.
Just curious, yeah.
And so like they have like a pump to pump the water up to the drone like through a hose.
Yes, so it's just going that direction.
Yeah.
So it's
And like I've seen that with like de-icing planes, de-icing windmills as well.
Wow,
Yeah.
I guess I didn't realize how much we are using drones.
Yeah,
around here. That's cool.
Again,
and
it's,
you're in it. That's cool.
it's just a matter of making it easier to use for the everyday person. And it's like,
Yeah.
And also, even like the case with computers, it's like all the big companies at the time, like the IBMs of the world, and then, wasn't really till Apple came along that, hey,
Everybody. Yeah.
hey, we're going to design these for the everyday person.
Now we're carrying them around.
Right.
We don't leave the house without them.
Yeah. And to your point, I think drones will enable people to not leave their house, right? It's like, why, kind of like the Wall-E sort of future, right? If you've seen Wall-E, it's like, and hopefully not with like the desolate earth, sort of part, but like the people that they're in like these mobile chairs, that move them around, never having to get out of their seat. They have like these drones like bring milkshakes or, whatever
what about
to them. And
like hospitals, like flying things to...
There's already like organ deliveries that are happening via
Wow.
drone, and so again, I think that's great and all, is like saving lives with drones, but it's really like how can we
You
provide convenience
want
to the day-to-day person?
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of the opportunity is, right? Where it's much more difficult, like in time and money, to actually create that first product that can be sold at a mass market scale. But that's the real opportunity that no one's focusing on, because all the money right now is selling to law enforcement agencies, selling to big businesses that have, all the money. Brian's like, I am so done hearing you say the same thing over the last like 3 podcasts. But
yeah.
This is the third podcast in 2 days, right?
Yeah.
For you guys.
That's cool.
Without me droning on too much.
Droning on, I got it.
I have to drop that, But is there anything else that you wanted to cover, impart to our dozens upon dozens of viewers? No.
Yeah, right.
Well, this one they're going to see.
Well,
you in
now
the
I'm going to be
thumbnail.
telling everybody,
Yeah.
hey, it's not like life-changing, but
I was just on
it's
the
like really
greatest
fun to like listening about the drones, knowing about this. This is something that you've opened my eyes
A lot
to.
going on.
Talking about somebody that hasn't invented or do anything, just day-to-day life. It's just, I have a mundane, everyday life, going into work and things like that. But seeing the side of things of like,
I think everyone sees their life as mundane, though, because you look
Yeah.
at like a lot of
I
rock
think-
stars want to be movie stars want to be comedians
Right.
want to be, and everyone.
I just
grass
like
is
the
greener.
idea of the conversation. Like, you can
Yeah.
take just us conversation and, people can take from it or turn it off or whatever they want. But it's like, we have ideas, we're getting it out there, and just life is challenging, and if some things knock you down, you dust yourself off and you get back on and smile. It's like,
That's a great one. Smile.
yeah. People, your family can be down on you, your friends can come down on you, but what you do with it, you don't always have to forgive and forget. You can just learn from it, take from it, and make something better out of it, I think. So, and I feel like even in the jobs, the things that have gone in my life, it's just a matter of, you make a choice. You can make a choice that it can tear you down or it can build you up. And I want to give everybody the idea that no matter what happens, you can get built back up again and get to a good place. But family, communication, loving people, that's the most important. And drones.
Drones to help you be able to do more of that. Cause
Yeah.
that's what I was getting at. It's like a lot of people will use it as a way to, enable more isolationist, sort of habits. But those that still want to go out and about
Sure.
with the world will be able to do so more.
Well, lost
right?
people hiking. I mean, there's so many different things. And like you said, you take your drone with you, you can send something out or find something. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I guess
Somehow.
one more quick thing about like using drones for finding, and this is one of the aspects that I think they'll be used across like consumers. Like you have a dog within a fenced-in yard, gets out of the yard, and you're driving around the neighborhood. Why not set like, hey, this is the area of my neighborhood on the map, and the drone will automatically go map it out, and it drops like a pin wherever, like if you have a search bar, right, you enter in dog or you upload a photo of your dog, and the drone's doing a real-time search of that area on the map, right?
I was going to say, hopefully I'm not being a silly question again, but you're streaming this, you're watching this on your laptop, the camera from the droid, you're streaming it.
Yes, yeah.
Huh.
And
Nice.
so it's all over the internet, right? And that's like,
Nice.
well, why would I want a drone, and why would I want a drone connected to the
That's
internet?
cool.
And it's kind of like a smartphone. It's like, who would buy a smartphone without getting a data plan for it? And that's like, even though very rare with drones right now, having it connected to the internet, having a data plan with it, that's just going to be part of, the everyday drone life. Have a data plan for my drone. So if I'm out and about, but I want my drone to like go pick up my food and have it ready for me by the time I get home, so I don't have to stop, make an extra stop to do so. You could be anywhere around the world as long as your drone's outside or in a drone in a box sort of system. Those are more really just for like enterprises right now, where they have like full autonomous, like push of a button, their drone's taking off and being dispatched to.
I'm so glad to be hearing about it now. I'm one of the first people to know about this. So
On the ground level before we take off.
I feel I'm very, very special. All right, I think that's
Yeah.
it. I think I had a great time talking to you guys.
Likewise.
Very fun.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Nancy. It's I know
I
it's very
have
informal
sweaty hands.
Nancy.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Sweaty hands. Sorry, sitting here
Under the
This
bright
is-
lights.
under
bright light.
under the
Under
bright
the
lights
bright,
and the
hot lights.
stress and the pressure. So it's all good.
Yeah, you did great. Much
Thank
better than
you.
either of us.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you,
Thank you.
viewers. Yeah.
Thank you, Brian.
No,
All right.
fuck Brian. Thank you, viewers.
I'm leaving that in on the edit.